How's it going, everyone? My name is Michael SK, and welcome back to Amatsutsumi. In the last episode, we got the ball rolling. Brand new playthrough here on the channel. Very different in a way from a lot of the playthroughs I've done in the past. I mean, at least I know jumping into this one that I'm probably going to get my heart torn out and thrown on the ground, but so far, so good. We got to learn about our main character here, Makoto, and how he's come from the Hidden Leaf Village or something along those lines. He definitely has some mystic ninja powers or something like that. The kotodama power, which I think will get explained a little bit more from what I've read so far. Again, I've kind of gone a little bit into the visual novel, like maybe 2.5 hours at the most. So maybe this episode and the next, and then we'll be back to where I had left off in my own playthrough, which obviously didn't get far, but there's a lot to learn about where we're at, the characters that we've met, the character that we're following. There's obviously a lot to go through. Alrighty, let's check out this house. That's where we left off. We're getting a tour of this house, which is also a cafe. There's a door at the back which leads out of the cafe area into a stairwell that leads up to the second floor. I follow Kokoro up the stairs. She spreads her arms, showing me the room at the top of the stairs. Oh wow, there's a television, a refrigerator, Western-style soft plush chairs, and all kinds of other interesting looking furniture. Even on a visual level, I thought this said novel for a second, I was like, huh? There are so many more colors and shapes in this room than I ever saw in my house back in the village. I feel like my head is spinning. Living room, so that means this is a shared space for everyone in the house. It's so luxurious. I can't help but express my amazement. Just being able to sleep in a soft chair like this would be more than enough for me. I'm sorry, but I don't really know what most of those words... No problem. Actually, I hope you keep using them since that makes it easier for me to pick up the words I need to know. If I just make sure to remember their pronunciations, I can look them up in a dictionary later. Yeah, I've actually never gone to a house where the living room is on the second floor. Okay. Kokoro smiles as she points at a nearby door. Got it. She opens the door and enters the room. What's this room? I'm puzzled by what I see inside the room. I expected an unfurnished bedroom or even a storage closet, but there's furniture all laid out, as if someone was living here. Isn't someone already living in this room? Okay, so, brief reminder since I kind of cut off the episode. Maybe not where I was supposed to, I don't know. There was a bit of hesitancy, I guess you could call it, from her, as she was suggested by old mama to maybe utilize this room for Makoto. Was. It wasn't recently? Well, the room is so neat and clean. Is it really okay for me to use this room then? It seems like this bedroom is being kept ready for use at a moment's notice, as if it's just waiting for someone to suddenly come back home one day and return to his former life. If I stay in this room, won't I be disrespecting the memory of its former occupant?
片付けてるのはお母さんで、それはまあ 生きてた頃のままにしたいっていうのはあると思うんだけど。
Also, curious question that never popped up when I was first reading this part, but why weren't Mama and Papa together in the same room?
お母さんも私も、それはそれ、これはこれって感じかな。
Well, shouldn't we check with Azuki-san then? Oh wait, never mind. Azuki-san's the one who said I should stay in this particular room in the first place.
気にしないで。私も死んだ人より生きてる人の方が大事だと思うよ。部屋だって誰かが使うためにあるんだし、ベッドも人が寝るためにあるんだし、そういう意味でも使ってあげなきゃ。
I see. I run my hand along the desk. There's no dust on the surface. But I will try to keep it as close as possible to how it is now.
ありがとう。
No, thank you, Kokoro.
家の紹介はこんなところかな。あ、そうだ。タオルとか用意しなくちゃ。着替えはお父さんの服がそのまま残ってるから着て。多分サイズは似たような感じだと思うから。
Everything is just so convenient. Oh, sure. I feel a little bad wearing Kokoro's dad's clothes, but I realize I don't have much choice unless I want people on the street to stare at my quote-unquote realistic yukata. But speaking of clothes, I guess I should help with the laundry too, right?
あ、そこまでやってくれるの？
Where's the nearest river or well?
いや、もしかして桃太郎のおばあさんみたいに川で洗濯するつもりなのかな？
Huh?
洗濯はいいよ。ちょっと恥ずかしい。
Kokoro's face turns red as she mutters to herself. I don't quite follow. I haven't come across any scenes of people doing laundry in the manga and books I've read. Could it be that people in the outside world use machines even to do their laundry? Suddenly I start yawning, but I keep my mouth closed, trying to suppress it.
眠いの？
Well, yeah, my body does feel more sluggish than usual.
寝た方がいいよ。ずっと山歩きしてて、さっきまで体調悪かったんだもん。
You're right. Everything I see and hear is new and exciting, and I can't wait to go exploring around this new world. But there's no need to push myself too hard. After all, I'll still be here tomorrow. And then I notice that Kokoro is staring at me. What is she doing?
Hey.
She pulls on my cheek. She's not pulling hard enough for it to hurt, but it was so sudden that I grunted in surprise.
誠くん、全然表情が動かないね。
Am I?
ちょっと真面目だったり優しい顔をしたりはするけど、笑ったり怒ったりって感じがないね。
Oh, I guess not. It's not surprising. That kind of thing is exactly what I felt was missing back in the village. Even Mana, with her cool demeanor, is far more emotive than most of the villagers. Maybe her strong emotions are what makes her kotodama so powerful? Who knows. Well, I'm sorry for being so awkward. I'm kind of just like this naturally. Well, let's say I haven't really gotten used to expressing my emotions yet.
今はまだ。そうだね。そのうち笑ってみせてね。
Kokoro smiles at me. What a great smile. I wish I could smile like she does.
じゃあ、私はいろいろと準備してくるけど、それが終わったら隣の部屋にいるから。
You know, if you're
ご飯
not
の時間に
smiling,
また呼びに来るね。
if you're not smiling like a schoolgirl, are you really smiling at all? Sure, thank you.
おやすみなさい。
An anime schoolgirl, I should clarify. Let's all be on the same page here. Kokoro starts to leave the room, but then she stops and turns around to face me, still smiling.
元気になったらいっぱいお話ししようね。
She waves goodbye and then turns and leaves the room. Talking. That's exactly what I want, too. And what with the heat stroke and then all the new things I was seeing, it hasn't really hit me until now, but I met actual outsiders and talked to them. Kokoro and Azuki-san. I still only know them on a surface level, but from what I can tell so far, if everyone on the outside world is as nice as they are, I feel like everything's gonna be just fine. I look around the room. I walk over to the bookshelf and locate a dictionary. As I try to take the dictionary from the shelf, I suddenly feel dizzy. Apparently, I'm further gone than I realized. I collapse onto the bed. It's not a Japanese-style futon, but a Western bed, like I've seen so often in manga. And come to think of it, it's very cool in this room, probably because of the AC I spotted in the living room. I feel like I could forget that it is summer, if I wasn't thinking about it. Good night. I realize that I forgot to reply to Kokoro when she said goodnight to me. I do want to communicate more freely, but I was raised not to speak aloud, and old habits die hard. Well, I'll start working on it tomorrow. Yeah, we got some time, don't worry. My whole body feels heavy as mud, and it seems like my consciousness could go out like a candle at any time. But I open my eyes again. I can't sleep. The unfamiliar fluffiness of the bed makes me feel like I'm in free fall, and it's scaring me. And I can't smell the scent of earth. No, actually, I can't smell any natural scent at all, and my nose isn't used to that. I get out of the bed and lie down on the floor in the corner of the room. Yeah, this is what I was looking for, this hardness like lying on wood slats. A powerful sleepiness assaults me. I think I can fall asleep this time, but I really need to practice with that bed starting from tomorrow. As I worry about how to deal with the fluffy bed, my mind begins to drift away. Wouldn't it be best to practice now, like at your most exhausted? That'd be the best time, right? Or am I a fool for thinking that? I don't know. Nice little transition here. I'm glad that it's all being captured. Sometimes I never know with visual novels if they do these fancy animations or like movie bits. My mind awakes, and I'm instantly confused. My confusion quickly turns to suspicion. What's going on? Something is wrong. I tense my muscles, bracing myself to confront the threat. Slowly, hesitantly, I open my eyes and look around. Then I remember that I'm not in the village anymore. I've really, truly left. I wonder what time it is. I know how to tell time since we do have clocks in the village. Clock batteries don't need to be changed frequently, so they're still usable in remote places. I look around the room and find a small desk clock. The hands read 5:30. I turn my eyes to the window. Looks more like 5:30 a.m. than 5:30 p.m. That means I was asleep for more than 12 hours. I must have really been tired. Kokoro said that she'd come and get me at dinner time, so what happened with that? I venture out into the living room. It looks the same as yesterday, except for one thing. There's a plate on top of the coffee table. On the plate, there's an onigiri and some pickled vegetables, excuse me. The whole thing is wrapped in a transparent plastic sheet. And there's a piece of paper sticking out from under the plate. I think anyone would. Well, that was nice of her. Now that I think about it, I didn't eat anything yesterday, unless I count that salty lozenge Kokoro gave me out on the road. Thanking her silently, I picked up the onigiri and take a bite. The rice is lightly salted. Not as tasty as the rice I used to grow in the village, but it'll do. Hunger is the best sauce after all. I take another bite and reach the filling in the middle. What the? Yikes. Did I really say that out loud? I know I should always be thankful for my food, but this is horrible. My face screws up in disgust. What the heck is this? The filling is bright red, sweet, a little sour, goopy. I have no idea what this is. It kind of looks like plum paste, but it sure doesn't taste like it. Poison? Is this Kokoro's way of telling me I'm not welcome in her home? No, that can't be. She was so nice to me yesterday. Then I realize everything else is different here. So why wouldn't the food be too? I'm just not used to this outsider food yet, sadly. That's not totally inedible. and I don't want to waste food, so I try to ignore the taste as I mechanically chew and swallow down the rest of the onigiri. I wonder when everyone usually gets up. In the village, we would wake up at dawn and go to bed at dusk, but I'm not sure how it works in a town like this. Normally, I'd head out and check on the fields before breakfast, but I guess I'm not going to be doing that anymore. There's no more fields to worry about, my man. Well, I don't really have anything to do at the moment. I guess I'll take a walk. I wanted to see the town yesterday, but I didn't really get the chance. This is a great way for us to like get introduced to the setting as well, because, you know, he doesn't know about anything, and neither do we, so this is perfect. I leave the cafe quietly, making sure not to wake Azuki-san or Kokoro. Most of the townspeople must still be asleep, as I don't see anyone around. The morning air is just as refreshing as in the village, but there isn't much foliage around, so it smells very different. I don't see any flooded paddy fields, but I can smell water somewhere nearby. As for the scenery, impressive. There really are a huge number of buildings. It's just like in those manga. My heart beats faster with excitement as I look around. And this must be a shopping district or something. There are many buildings with signs showing various products. Now, which one is the convenience store? I'm really looking forward to my first visit to a convenience store. Most of the stores are still closed, but I can see one that's open some distance away. That must be it. The street-facing wall of the store is made of glass. I stand on tiptoes to get a good view inside. There are countless shelves, each packed from end to end with all kinds of goods. The aisle nearest to me is stocked with brand new books. This is so cool. I wish I could read those books. I know that there's a practice called browsing where you stand in the aisle and read books without buying them. Apparently store owners don't like it when you do that. Yeah, and also if it's like a soft cover book, if you have them open, like stretched open, then you're kind of like, it's not messing up the binding, but you're applying use to the book, and it's becoming less new. That's how I'm gonna describe it. I don't know, if I'm browsing through a book already, more than likely I'm going to buy it because it's something that interests me. That's just how I am. The characters in the manga I've read would often browse through books at convenience stores when they were bored or needed to kill time. I want to try browsing too, but I'm kind of scared to enter the store. Can I really go inside even if I'm not buying anything? I really want to know what it's like to walk through automatic sliding doors. I think this store has some. But if I go inside the store, won't the employees think I'm a customer? What if they try to force me to buy something? I can't buy anything right now because Kokoro has all my money. If things go south, I could always use my kotodama, but I think I'll ask Kokoro about it when she wakes up. Yeah, I'll come back here later. What should I do next? I'm interested in everything in this town, but it might be wise to get a sense of the geography of the region first. I don't want to get lost, and if I ever have to flee this town, I should make sure I know some good escape routes. I decided to revisit the place where I collapsed on the road yesterday. Retracing my steps from memory, I begin to walk my way up the road toward the mountains, and as I walk, the number of buildings decrease, and I see more and more foliage. Oh, a lake. This must be why I smelled water earlier. I didn't notice yesterday, but as the road ascends, I can see far enough to tell that the town lies in a semicircle along the shore of a large lake. Based on the position of the sun relative to the town below, I deduce that I'm in the eastern outskirts now. Kokoro's house seems to be in the central part of town. I make a note to go and see the lake later, but now my attention is drawn to a large torii off to the side of the road. A torii is a special kind of gate commonly found at the entrance of a Shinto shrine where Japanese gods are worshipped. Gods, huh? Growing up in the village, I was taught that there are descendants of Japanese gods. But are they the same gods that people worship here? I'm not headed anywhere in particular, so I decide to take a look. I walk through the torii and begin to climb the stone steps set into the hillside behind it. This is like a very nice backdrop. So far the backdrop's very, very clean. After more than 100 steps, I reach the top of the stairs. The shrine is built on a small plateau, which overlooks the path I came from and the surrounding forested foothill terrain. In the village, we only had a miniature wayside altar where we would pray for a bountiful harvest. So this is my first time seeing a full Shinto shrine complex. The elegantly decorated buildings draw my eye, but more importantly, something feels different here. After a moment, I realize that I'm finding it strangely easy to breathe. Breathing is very important, really. Is it easier to breathe here because the shrine premises are hollowed ground? Anyway, shouldn't there be a shrine maiden somewhere around here? In my manga and novels, usually whenever shrines came up, so did shrine maidens, who were women that assisted with the various ceremonies at the shrine. And the shrine maidens were usually cute girls because, you know, anime and all that. It only makes sense. Nah, that'd be too convenient. Haha, yeah. I hear the crunch of gravel and a gasp. Alright, turning back towards the sound, I see a shrine maiden has appeared before me. I have a bunch of questions to ask her, so I put on my best smile and call out to her. Good morning! Huh? The shrine maiden, looking terrified, flees into one of the buildings. Was it something I said? I feel pretty hurt by this turn of events, but I can't very well chase her into the building. Did I do anything strange? What got her so scared? Is there something horribly wrong with how I look? Did Kokoro and Azuki-san just not mention it out of politeness? I hurriedly inspect my attire. I'm wearing the same yukata as yesterday, but the shrine maiden was wearing traditional Japanese clothes too, so that can't be what shocked her. What even? I grumble to myself. I stand in the courtyard, unsure of what to do. It doesn't seem like the shrine maiden is going to come back. I hope she's not asking cops to come. Well, I guess I'll head back. Kokoro and Azuki-san might be waking up pretty soon. I'm still a little put out by what happened, but I try to turn my mind to other things. The outside world can be a confusing place. That is darn sure true. I can confirm that, being a member of. Or am I? I haven't found out yet.
Makoto-kun da.
I enter the cafe and find Kokoro up and about. She nods in greeting to me, looking like she's still half asleep. She's so adorable that I forget all about my uncertainty over the events at the shrine. Good morning.
外から戻ってきてたけど、散歩でもしてたの?
Yeah.
起きるの早いね。で、そういえば昨日の午後から寝てたんだっけ?
Sorry I couldn't wake up to join you for dinner. Also, thanks for the, onigiri.
あ、美味しかった?
Huh? I appreciated it. Thank you for making it.
いやいや、味はどうだったって聞いただけだよ。
I'm sorry,
なんで謝るの?
I was hoping I could kind of glide past this topic, but Kokoro doesn't want to let it go. I didn't want to have to do this, but let's not talk about the onigiri.
今日こそ街を案内してあげるね。
Thanks to the power of kotodama, I was able to make her change the subject instantly. Whew. Thanks, I'm looking forward to it.
あと、午後はお母さんがお店のことを教えるって言ってたよ。
Alright, I'm looking forward to that too. Speaking of which, should I be making breakfast now that you're awake?
バイト以外でご飯を作るのは強制じゃないだろうけど、どうだろう。いつもはお母さんが作るんだけど。
Just as Kokoro glances towards her mother's bedroom, Azuki-san makes her appearance.
おはよう、お母さん。
Good morning, Azuki-san.
おはよう。若者は日曜日でも朝から元気ね。
Sunday?
そうだよ。
I see, so today's an off day. I remember that here in the outside world, there are clear rules for which days you work or go to school and which days you rest. Back in the village, we couldn't take a break from watching the fields or rice paddies, so I didn't really pay attention to the days of the week. Azuki-san, should I make breakfast?
私が作るから平気よ。せっかくだし、ホットケーキにでもしましょうか。わーい、ホットケーキ大好き。
Pancakes. If I recall correctly, that's a type of bread. I've barely ever had a chance to eat Western food, so I'm excited to try these pancakes. But then I remember my experience with the onigiri Kokoro made with modern ingredients. It might take me a long time to get used to outsider food. I hope I can avoid making faces or yelling at least. Yeah, that'll be a start. You know, pancakes are pretty good. I just think it's a little much for a breakfast. I don't know. How do you guys feel about like pancakes or waffles as like a breakfast? Because it just feels like more of a dessert in a way. And then half an hour later, I'm cradling my head in my hands, overcome with emotion.
誠くん、そんなにホットケーキ美味しかったの?
Yes. Never in 1,000 years did I think that something that delicious could exist. Everything I'd ever eaten back at the village seemed tasteless in comparison. I could barely comprehend the taste of it. All I can say is that it tasted unbelievable. Well, Kokoro's onigiri tasted unbelievable too, in a different kind of way. I have no idea how outsider food could span such extremes, but color me extremely impressed. Man, syrup and butter. What an eye-opener. And when it's hot, the bread part is much more fluffy and tasty than I imagined.
まさかパンを食べたのも生まれて初めて?
Oh no, I've eaten bread. Someone once brought me back some bread wrapped in plastic as a souvenir.
コンビニのパンとかかな。それがお土産になっちゃうんだ。和食ばっかりっていうか、調味料が塩と醤油と味噌だけの生活だったのかもしれないね。マヨネーズとかケチャップ食べさせたら、誠くん、今度こそ泣き出しちゃいそう。
Kokoro seems to be talking to herself, but I'm not really listening. I take some deep breaths, trying to get over the pancake shock. Whew.
落ち着いた?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, how do I look? I've changed into some Western clothes in preparation for our walk around town. But I'm not sure if I look okay yet.
大丈夫。シャツにジーンズは誰にでも似合うから。
I see. Still feels weird, though. These clothes are so constricting. I can't feel the air on my skin, and it's kind of difficult to move my limbs. I miss my yukata.
むしろ洋服姿になってくれて、ようやく誠くんが普通の男の子なんだなーって私は思えたよ。
Well, I wasn't trying to be outlandish, but what you saw was normal for me.
普通じゃなくていいよ。楽しいお話の始まりなんだもん。
Yeah, we gotta find all the abnormal characters to make a visual novel good. Characters?
なんでもないよ。それじゃあ、街の案内をします。
I don't know if that was a fourth wall breaker or what that was supposed to be. I don't know. Kokoro is in high spirits. Alright, please lead the way.
こちらこそ。って言っても、あんまり紹介することもないんだけどね。この街は、まず、その、田舎町って言います。
Yeah, that's definitely a laughing matter for sure. Yeah, whenever I read this part, I was kind of in disbelief because how can you not be? Backwater? Like the boondocks? A remote area?
説明する。絶対に誤解されるんだよね、これ。井戸の中の町で田舎町っていうの。ずっと昔はここの湖がこの辺りの水源になってたんだって。
I see. So that made this an important place, known for its connection to water.
そういうこと。水の管理をしてたから、昔はこの辺でも一番偉い町だったんだけど、今は本当にただの田舎の町なんだけどね。
I don't know about that. I mean, there's more people visible from where I'm standing than I can count with both hands. They all look like they've got places to go and things to do, and most importantly, they're talking to each other. Now that I've seen this town, I can't help but think that my village was the real backwater. To me, it's like I've come to the big city.
そういう感想の人は初めて。でね、家の前でなんだけど、ここがこの町で一番賑やかなところなの。ここをまっすぐ行くと湖があって、そこがこの町の観光名所なんだ。で、観光客さん目当てのお店はだいたいこの辺に集まってるし、うちの喫茶店みたいな飲食店と、
And a convenience store.
そう、ここのは24時間じゃないんだけどね。
Really? But it was open when I was walking around here in the early morning.
朝は早い人が多いから5時から空いてるの。夜は9時で閉まっちゃうんだ。
I see. 9 p.m. is practically the middle of the night.
で、携帯はいる？
Huh?
誠くんが外の世界で暮らすなら、携帯がないと困るんじゃないかって、昨日の夜お母さんと話してたんだ。
Cell phone.
携帯迷子になっちゃうかもだし、もし必要だったらこれ持っておいてって。
Kokoro places a cell phone in the palm of my hand. It feels like a smooth river rock. It's even about the same weight as one.
それお母さんのなんだけど、ほとんど使ってないから少し貸してあげるって。必要ならお母さん新しいの契約するみたいだし。
It's crazy how easy it is to get a phone nowadays. Like, obviously in the States and probably a lot of other places, obviously you have smartphones. Smartphones are the big thing, but if you just need something basic as fuck, you can definitely get one. It'll probably still be a smartphone, barely, but at least you can get a phone. You can get it connected to service and maybe get like a gigabyte of data, which is practically nothing, but you're on the network. You can make calls and texts, totally unlimited. And I remember just a couple decades ago that would have seemed completely unreasonable. Like, sure, you can get a phone, but you're gonna have to spend a little bit of the coin, and also getting a plan wasn't great because you had limited calls and text. Times sure have changed. Sorry, I kind of rambled there. If you're new to the channel, that happens sometimes. Thank you. I'm so moved. I can't really think of what to say, so I just nod in thanks. I've always wanted a cell phone, and I was planning to get one someday, but to think that someday was today. I start tearing up with gratitude. Damn, it's not that serious. I will treasure this gift forever.
声が震えてるし、敬語わかりやすいね。
No.
使い方はわかる？
I've practiced a little on the dead ones in the village. I'm not really sure how to send texts, though.
じゃあ、メールはうちに戻ってからゆっくり教えてあげるよ。
Thanks.
ちょっとそこに立っててね。
Kokoro takes out her own phone and starts doing something with it as she walks away from me. While I'm trying to guess what she's doing, the phone in my hand suddenly comes to life. The phone is blinking and making sounds. I locate a green symbol and push it gingerly. I put the phone to my ear. Hello?
もしもし、誠くん。そろそろ行こうか。
I look up and see Kokoro standing some distance away, framed by the blue summer sky. She's smiling at me. Thank you. I smile back at her. I think it might be the first time I've instinctively smiled at someone before, but the smile is quickly wiped from my face. Just as I'm moving the phone away from my ear, I hear a small cry from the earpiece. Looking back at Kokoro, I see that she's been knocked off balance. And right beside her, a young man with a phone held to his own ears trying to walk past. He glances at her angrily before turning away without even apologizing. Kokoro hops a few steps, regains her balance, and comes back towards me. Are you okay? Did that guy bump into you? I see. Do you want him to apologize to you? She had been standing still. Or she had just been standing still, so it was clearly the man's fault for not looking where he was going.
いいよ。ちょっと怖そうな人だったし。
I see that the man hasn't gone very far. Kokoro, why don't you go on ahead? I'll catch up with you in a minute.
私は大丈夫だよ。
No, I just wanted to try calling you on my phone from somewhere where I can't see you.
そういうことか。じゃあ、 私はあっちの角の先にいるから。
She walks away smiling. It seems she's already forgotten her run-in with the rude man. I smile back at her as she recedes into the distance. And this time it's an intentional forced smile, and I'm not sure how real it looks. Once she's out of sight, I turn and approach the man who bumped into her. Yeah, you guys know where this is going. Coming up behind him, I clap him on the shoulder and whisper into his ear, "Kneel before me." The man suddenly falls to his knees. A look of surprise spreads on his face as he realizes his body is moving by itself. Shut up. He opens his mouth, but I head him off before he can shout. The man's surprise turns to shock. His mouth opens and closes like a fish out of water, but no words come out. He put his hands to his throat. Now, grovel. From the kneeling position, the man's upper body immediately folds forward, grinding his forehead into the ground. His arms are still free, so he tries to push himself to his feet, but no matter how he flails, his knees and forehead remain firmly glued to the road. I look at my phone. How does this thing work again? Right, you go to recent calls and... Hello, Kokoro?
あ、ちょっと時間かかったけど、電話は使えるね。
Ah, shucks, you know, we're just a little slow. Yeah, I finished my business over here, so I'll head over there and meet up with you now.
用事?
And nothing important. I look down at the man as I end the call. We're starting to draw stares from people walking nearby. Well, that's not really an issue. I bend down and watch the man struggling. What should I do with him? I could just leave him like this, but I think I put a little too much force into my kotodamas. If I don't cancel them, he might be stuck here for days. 5 minutes from now, you will regain control of your limbs and your voice. I pat the man on the shoulder kindly. The man stops squirming and stiffens at my touch. Then he starts trembling in fear. You should be nice to women, you know, especially cute girls like her. Well then, time to leave before things get too out of hand. Come to think of it, I wonder if kotodama works over the phone. I should give it a try sometime. I think to myself as I walk down the road towards where Kokoro is waiting. The power of kotodama. I tell Kokoro that I've already seen the east side of town when I was walking in the morning, so she decides to show me some other places. First, we head straight north as we approach the lake. She stops and turns to me.
この辺りが町の真ん中かな。あんまり何かってことはないけど、どこに行くにもここを目印にするといいよ。
Okay. I thought we were going to continue onto the lake, but we turn left and head west. As soon as we leave the sidewalk and enter a path that leads away from the road, what's this place?
あ、ここはただの公園。別に何かの目的地とかじゃなかったんだけど、通り抜けた方が近道になるから。
Digging the sunflowers. The park. I can see why she wanted to cut through here. It's fairly big, and we'd have to make quite a detour to go around it. I know that in cities, parks are public spaces that belong to everyone. But if you think about it, that also means that they don't belong to anyone in particular. This might be the perfect place to till a field, but for now, I'll just follow Kokoro. Yeah, maybe don't do the tilling of a field. After walking westward for a while, Kokoro points out a large building to me.
あそこが病院だよ。
It's easy to spot because everything else in the area seems to be residential buildings, houses and small apartment buildings. If we'd had a hospital like this in the village, nobody would have died from the epidemic. I'd still have my parents, and Mana would still have... Well, never mind. It is what it is. It was a long time ago, and I don't feel any strong emotions about it now.
体調が悪かったり、怪我したら病院だよ。
Okay, but it's interesting that the first thing you wanted to show me was the hospital, not the lake. I thought that was the main attraction in this town.
いや、誠くん、昨日行き倒れてたんだから、もしかしたらすぐにお世話になるかもだよ。
Ah, please don't say that. Oh, right. I feel pretty much fine now, but she's got a point. I'm technically a convalescent.
うちのお母さんもあんまり体が強くないから、夏に1回か2回は入院したりするんだよね。
Really? I'm a little surprised since Azuki-san seemed healthy enough to me.
毎年のことだから慣れたけど、心配。
She looks a little sad thinking about it. but she quickly puts on a cheery smile again.
だから、誠くんが喫茶店の手伝いしてくれると、実は私も安心できるんだ。学園に行ってる時とか、家にお母さん一人で大丈夫かなって思っちゃうこともあるし。
I didn't know. I realized it must be hard for Azuki-san as a single mother, but apparently she has health problems on top of that. I'll make sure to work extra hard to help both of you then.
ありがとう。でも、二人とも無理はしないでね。
Kokoro looks around.
で、紹介って、この町、本当に何もないんだよね。メインディッシュの湖はあるけど、先に神社に行っちゃったって話だしな。
What about your school?
学校？
I've never seen one before.
そっか、学校も知らないんだ。案内するような場所だって考えすらなかったよ。それなら、ちょうどこっち側だね。
Alright. With Kokoro leading the way, we walk in the direction of the lake, and 10 minutes later, we arrive at the school. This is the most gigantic building I've seen so far. Standing at the front gate, I can't even see the whole thing. Ah, I'm very impressed. So this is a school. Today is Sunday, but there must be tons of people coming here every weekday.
ここが学校というか、学園だね。
I can't go in, can I?
誠くんも学生みたいな年齢だろうし、入れないってことはないけど、関係者じゃないってバレたら怒られちゃうかも。
With my kotodama power, I'm not very worried about myself, but I don't want to get Kokoro in trouble, so I'd better stay outside. I look with interest at the pillars next to the front gate. The words, Tsukinomiya Academy, yeah, there we go, are written on one of them. The pillars look very Western in design, but the size and shape remind me of kodomatsu, the traditional Japanese decorations placed around gates during the new year. Wow, fascinating.
なんか、真剣に観光案内してるみたいな気分になってきた。ニューヨークで自由の女神を紹介してるみたいな。
New York? Bathing?
わかりやすいボケだね。アメリカの首都だよ。
Huh. Well, that's news to me, gamers. America, I've heard that name. But I thought the capital of America was Washington, D.C.
あれ？
Oh no, I'm probably wrong then. All I know is the really basic stuff we learned in the village. The capital was probably moved and I never heard about it.
銭湯なんてあるのかな？
Well, the capital of Japan changed from Kyoto to Tokyo, right? Isn't that just fucking changing of the name? Oh wait, no, it's not. Sorry, I'm fucking
江戸時
stupid.
代の話だよね、それ。
Sorry, I don't know my own history. Huh? Wasn't it the 1800s? But before I can say anything, there's a strange sound.
あ、私の携帯。ちょっとごめんね。
Kokoro whips out her cell phone and brings it up to her ear.
もしもし、ホタルン？昨日話してた、行き倒れてた誠くんに街を案内してるの。わかった。こっちは学園の前で、ちょうど湖の方に行くつもりだったから、そっちに10分くらい後かな。楽しみにしててね。
She hangs up and puts away the phone in a single fluid motion. Man, it's like she was born with a cell phone in her hand. She's so cool. A friend of yours?
そう、大親友。
Nice. I wish I had a best friend. Why is this getting so sad?
誠くんは友達もいなかったの？
Well, was Mana my best friend? Or my lover, or my childhood playmate, or my fiance, or all those things? What I did have was someone who was almost like family to me, I guess.
それはそれで楽しそうな話だね。
I hope I can introduce you someday. Mana, I'm sorry I had to leave you behind. Wait, isn't your friend waiting for us?
そうだった。行こうか。
She starts walking, but quickly stops and turns back towards me.
でもホタルンはちょっと変な子だから覚悟しておいてね。
Didn't you say she's your friend?
親友だよ。
Okay. Apparently here in the outside world, people need to be prepared when someone's introducing their friend to someone else. Well, I guess it makes sense. If I ever tried to introduce mana to Kokoro, I definitely need to be. I need to prepare for death potentially. Damn, things are getting pretty sad here. Okay, we'll end it here, and in the next episode we will. Oh, it's Kokoro 2. We are on day 2. In the next episode, we'll be meeting her friend, which isn't a spoiler. I mean, it was literally just told us. Or the game just told us that we were going to be meeting her. All I can do is confirm that. Is that a spoiler? Would that be constituted as one? I don't know. I really don't know. All I do know is that we really need to get to the part where I, going forward, will not know what is coming up, so I don't come up with this very awkward commentary. We're almost there, and I think the next episode, if not the next episode, then the very beginning of the next one after that will be where I will be blind going forward. And, you know, I'm excited. So far, I think going back through and setting this up for a Let's Play format has been a good idea, I think. And I hope that you all are ready for a fun ride. I know that I am. Thank you all for watching this episode. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy jazz, and I will see you all in the next one. Take it easy.